Hello, I'm Annette Young and welcome to a brand new series of the 51%, a show about women reshaping our world. In this special edition, we take a look at how parenthood is dramatically changing as women delay having children. We head to Spain, which has become the El Dorado fertility treatment as thousands of foreigners seek to take advantage of the country's flexible laws. Also, just how reliable is freezing one's eggs? We talked to Canadian researcher Angel Petropanagos on how turning back the biological clock comes at a price, and how some Germans are redefining the concept of what makes a traditional family. But first, according to doctors, the best time to fall pregnant is in our mid-20s, yet with the demands of a career or simply seeking to stay financially afloat, how is that actually possible? Not to mention trying to find the right partner. As a result, many women are postponing having children, which itself can become problematic. Thousands of people, including single women, are heading to Spain seeking help from the nation's fertility clinics. This is because, by contrast to other European countries, Spain has rather lenient laws when it comes to who can access treatment, as this report shows.
Little Lino was born in Paris, but he was conceived in a Barcelona clinic using a donated egg. His 45-year-old mother was prevented from trying a second round of IVF in France because of her age. So she and her husband looked to Spain, where legislation is among the most flexible in Europe.
They consider it too late when you start a cycle after 43. But me, I'd already tried. I'd had good results. So I could have had at least one attempt, especially since it would have been the month after I turned 43. And 1 month, that's not crazy.
This Madrid clinic is one of 200 centres in Spain specialising in medically assisted procreation. Treatments are allowed for women from 18 up to 50, and it doesn't matter if they are single or homosexual. Procedures include egg donation, but also the freezing of eggs for those who want to have children later.
We have an average age for the first visit of about 38, 39, 40. That's for people who can have treatments with their own eggs for their first child. And the people who would like to receive donated eggs, we do treatments up to 49 years.
About 600 women are treated here every year. Half are from abroad. But success is never guaranteed, and later life pregnancies can be complicated.
It's still an obstacle course, and with donated eggs there isn't 100% success. We have 40–50% success. If we can make several attempts, we can increase that to 70 or 80%, but not on one attempt, on several.
The Spanish fertility sector generated a turnover of €365 million in 2014. Emmanuelle and her husband paid €5,700 for their treatment. With the arrival of little Lino, of course, the process has been well worth it.
Now in America, the marketing of freezing one's eggs as an insurance policy for young women is picking up speed. Facebook, Apple, even the US military now offer it as an employee benefit. But just how effective or reliable is the procedure itself? Joining me now from Toronto is Angel Petropanagos, a researcher from Dalhousie University who specialises in bioethics and feminist philosophy. Angel, thanks so much for being with us. For those watching and who may not know, just explain to us, how exactly does one freeze eggs?
So egg freezing is a process that involves the hormonal stimulation of the ovaries. Now, what that typically requires after the initial assessment is that the woman is given hormones, and she takes injections at home for a few weeks leading up to the procedure. And what this does is stimulates the ovaries so they produce extra eggs for that month. Okay. After that point, her cycle is monitored, and when she's ready, they go in and do a transvaginal retrieval, which is a minor surgery. And then they extract the eggs. After assessing those eggs in the lab, the ones that are viable, so the ones that look like they're good quality, will be frozen for future use. Now, egg freezing, just to note, is typically only available to women who are in their 20s and 30s, usually, because that's really when you get the best quality eggs.
But Angel, just how reliable is the procedure itself?
Well, when we're talking about success rates, at the end of the day, for each egg that you have extracted, you have about a 4.5% to 12% chance of pregnancy, according to sort of some American data that we have. So it's not great, it's not guaranteed, and it's quite low.
It's a very low figure indeed, isn't it?
It is quite low. So, it's concerning when egg freezing does get promoted or framed as sort of this reproductive insurance, or a solution, because it's really not guaranteed. And each woman's chances of success are going to vary based on her reproductive function, based on her age, at the time at which the eggs are frozen, and really at where she gets the eggs done, what protocol they use, and so forth. So there are a lot of variations that make it really difficult for most individuals to sort of comprehend what their chances are of success. And I think a lot of times these success rates are sort of overblown, and we think that our chances are better than they actually are.
And some have actually accused it of being a scam, where clinics are sort of preying on young women's fears that they will never be mothers.
I think in a lot of cases, that can be a fair characterization, right? So one of the things we see is the marketing in the media. It really, there are egg freezing parties that they promote, for example, through fertility clinics have egg freezing parties, and they invite women, give them cocktails and tell them, that they should freeze their eggs, and they, give them a discount sort of thing. But the truth of the matter is that egg freezing makes fertility clinics, particularly in North America, a whole lot of money. And a lot of the women who are opting to freeze may never actually use those eggs in the future to try and reproduce. So there's a lot of money to be made, and that in itself is concerning.
And talking about that, it does seem that there's a number of American companies now jumping onto the bandwagon. But should employers actually be encouraging women to delay motherhood?
Well, I think typically when employers do that, it's in their own best interest as a corporation to do so, right? So they want to typically keep women in the workforce or in the military, if we're thinking about the military funding of egg freezing. And that's not necessarily in the best interest of the individual women, right? So for companies that do offer it, what makes it less problematic is when they offer it as part of a comprehensive package, where there are other things like childcare coverage, flexible time. You see a balance between men and women's sort of abilities to take time off to reproduce and not sort of have work interrupted in a serious way. So when it's in a balanced package, it's less concerning than when it's presented as sort of the best option for women, and women are encouraged to delay and use egg freezing in order to sort of pursue their career. So I think the framing of it matters, the presentation of it matters, and perhaps it's not it's not in women's best interest to be freezing in some cases. So I think we should be critical when and why some companies choose to fund egg freezing.
Angel, I'm terribly sorry we've run out of time. We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Now, you've heard of flat sharing and carpooling. Well, in Germany, the sharing economy is going to the next level with co-parenting. They're parents who don't love each other and in some cases don't even know each other. But with the help of the internet, they're bringing up the baby together without a romantic relationship.
She looks like any other mother taking her babies for a stroll in a hip area of Berlin. Eleanor had always dreamt of being a mum, so with her 40s approaching and no suitable partner, she decided to take matters into her own hands.
I'd seen it happen to other women who realise when they're 45 that it was too late, who said, shoot, I never even tried to have kids and now it's too late. I thought I won't let that happen to me.
Julien was just a friend. He still is, but he's also the father of their children. They're not romantically involved and they don't live together, but Eleanor and Julien are sharing the responsibility for the kids' upbringing.
We're a family because, for example, we go on holiday together, the four of us, with my family or hers. We're a bit like a divorced couple who get on well, because we're friends first.
What's also good is the freedom we get. I know when Julien has the kids, I can have a day or two off, and that's great.
Eleanor and Julien sought to balance their desires for a family and freedom. And they're not alone in wanting children without a relationship. Now, specialist sites are helping make the process easier, whether you want to be an active or passive parent, or simply a sperm donor. Christina Wagner created one of these websites to solve her own problem. She was looking for an active co-parent, but didn't know where to find him.
It's true that it's a bit a la carte parenting, but I think that's how it always is in life. We're in a real life situation and we're trying to respect our wishes and realize our dreams.
Mila is the child Christina always wanted. Mila's mother is a lesbian and her father is gay.
The main advantage is that there are no romantic feelings to get in the way. We have an open discussion about Mila's education, and there are no other conflicts or other little things that can get in the way and that have nothing to do with our child.
The absence of romantic involvement between parents is somewhat uncharted territory, but psychologists say it's not necessarily a problem.
What's very important for a child is that they feel wanted. It's more important that they realize that than knowing that their parents loved each other or how much they loved each other.
It's early days, but in Germany, several thousand children have already been born to these modern families.
And that's it for now. And if you'd like to comment on what you've just seen, you can head to our Facebook page. That's France24 51%, or do send us a tweet at _51%. Thanks for your feedback so far, and please do keep those comments coming in. Now, before we leave, in recent weeks, while this show was on a summer break, France, of course, making world headlines over a highly controversial move to ban bikinis from some of its beaches, a move that's since been overturned by the country's highest court. Of course, we here at the 51% will continue to follow that story with a great deal of interest. In the meantime, however, we're going to leave you with some images of what some had to say about the controversy. Until our next show, bye for now.